for crimes in those zones now are African Americans. And next slide. Then after you get excluded, if you are found back in that area and you get a trespassing citation, if 55% of the people who are getting those citations are African American. So I asked myself, why do you think officers might recognize that people are coming back into these areas who are African American as opposed to the ones who aren't? My only guess would be skin color. Again, this is just speculation, but I think that it's something serious that we need to look at. The service coordination team is yet another one of these programs that disproportionately affects African Americans. And the service coordination team, our explanation of it, I'm sure may not be 100% the way other people describe it, is something where the police are involved with other folks in government agencies, and they look at people who've been arrested over and over again on drug crimes, and eventually when they become a frequent enough flyer, they say, oh, well, either this time we're going to give you a felony charge and put you away for a long time, or you're going to go into treatment. And we know that there's people who are out there who have addiction problems who need treatment. They shouldn't have to be arrested over and over again. We met a person when we were Copwatch, and he said, I can't get into treatment. So the money's going through the police bureau to help treat people that they have arrested over and over instead of helping everybody. The service coordination team, next slide, has the last statistics we have, 52% of the people targeted by that program are African American. But the most shocking statistic, I think, was that last year, in an area of Portland that's become very gentrified, right around this area, a little bit to the west of Killingsworth, around the Albina area, they decided to do a quality of life program to try to arrest people or confront people who were drinking in public. They had an open container, they had a paper bag, sitting on walls, loitering, all sorts of quality of life, nothing violent, I have to say. I believe there's only one or two things that had anything to do with a gun or other weapon. The people who were arrested for that, next slide, 89% were African American. In a neighborhood that's been gentrified, there's a very high tension in the neighborhood about the movement in of white people, and African Americans seem to have been unfairly targeted. The one area where there is a disparity, but it's not as bad, is what we call the SIT-LI law. It's known as the Sidewalk Management Plan now, and officers approach people on the sidewalk and say, you can't sit on this part of the sidewalk during this part of the day. Next slide, please. So the statistic we had for 2011 showed 11%, still out of whack from the 6% population. 11% of the people approached were African American, and it's mostly homeless people, the statistics show also. And 7% in 2012, but we haven't got all the statistics for 2012. They stopped being shared with us. Commissioner Fritz was in charge of that. She's kind of washed her hands of the program. We're trying to get a hold of the statistics. Hopefully somebody from the Bureau can help us with that. So that's statistically where we're at. Now I'm going to tell you a couple of quick stories. I don't know how much time I have left because I lost track. We have, next slide please, sorry. We have an oversight system in Portland. Donna made a little reference to it. Independent Police Review Division is the professional staff that takes in the complaints about police misconduct, and then if they decide that the case is worth investigating in order to ask questions to police officers, they have to turn it over to police internal affairs. If the outcome of that investigation is that there was no misconduct, a person can appeal the finding to what most people call our Citizen Review Board. It's called the Citizen Review Committee. It's a 9-member board that hears appeals. So there are 2 cases right now pending through the system. One is a woman, Ms. Haynes, 4 foot 10 inch tall, African American woman, dark skin, and she was approached by an officer or officers who were looking for a 5 foot 4 inch tall Latino man who